Good morning, Snow. So I'm so glad you could join us this evening. We are in different time zones. Congratulations on your incredible creation. You are such an amazing filmmaker and storyteller. So really enjoyed watching your film.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Having said that, I have a few questions for you. So let's get started. I wanted to know what made you choose to make a documentary on the marginalized people and the crisis in Myanmar, and what caused you to make this documentary?
Oh, the reason why I made this midwife documentary because I was born in a Rakhine state, western part of Myanmar, Rohingya conflict region, where two of my character also living in that state. So because I'm from that region, that make me to attract, like, to make the story. Because also the thing is that in 2012, when the Rohingya conflict happened in the Rakhine state, so many Rohingya has to leave country and flee to Bangladesh, and also the situation was completely changed because the memory that I have in my childhood, two community were friends, they lived together, they was neighbor, they are friends. So then suddenly it changed everything. So some people, as you can hear that so many people die, and Rohingya people, so many, they have like a lot of tragedy happened to Rohingya community. Also at the same time, in Rakhine state become such a dark uh, tend to dark state in my country. So I really wanted to understand what is going on in my own state. That's the reason I went back to my hometown to better understand myself. Also, I wanted to understand about how midwife roles in the conflict region, how um, Rohingya midwife and Buddhist midwife working together, because what I hear from outside world was like all these Rohingya flee to Bangladesh, but actually, uh, uh, from my relative, they are also telling me that no, there are Rohingya people still living together with a Buddhist community. So it made me to understand how they coexist and live together.
Wow, thank you so much. Did not realize it was part of your personal story and your personal background. This wonderful filmmaking still. So the main characters, Snow Hnin and Haya, I hope I'm pronouncing their name correctly. Yeah. They have various values that come across in the documentary. Which of their personal values align with yours and you care most about? Or is the one value that makes you connect with them?
Before I start this documentary, I don't know about two of my characters. I just have my imagination character inside me for around 6 months because I wanted to follow two midwives, one Buddhist and one Muslim midwife working together in the Rohingya village. That was my intention and my imagination character. So after I have like, okay, the time that I really wanted to start for my character, I called my aunt who is living in Mrau, in that region. I shared about my dream character, and then we were searching for two midwives living and working together in the same village and same clinic. That was my imagination character. And luckily I found them. And as soon as I met them, I know that this is my character. And when I met Fla, as you can see, Fla is such a tough and strong personality woman. And she lived in a Rohingya village and self-made clinic. She set up self-made clinic in the region. And also, as you can see, Nuno is such a um, inspiring and so much motivated to learn healthcare because he wanted to provide her own community when situation get worse. So that made me kind of like that hooked me to get to know to know them and to deep dive into their um, um, life for a long journey of 5 years. I make it this documentary about 5 years.
Thank you. Wow, that is incredible. So I see there were a lot of issues portrayed in the documentary, right? Like the issues that the women cared about. The main characters, they were seeking health justice, social justice, education, continuation of their culture, and yet there was this whole political unrest that was going on. So which social justice issue is closest to your heart?
About women in that community, because for example, like women has not only women, also women and children. As you can see that they don't have any business human rights in the region. There are a lot of social justice that it touched me. Also, they don't have a proper education. They don't have no healthcare service. Also, they don't have like that they have nothing. So that really make me to understand like how these two women and all these people, how can they live together like this? But even though if they don't have like a lot of things, they are lacking of everything. But as you can see, Nuno and Lat, they have such a they have their own dreams and they live their life, everyday life where they get up like they have their mission and they wanted to yeah, they have their strong desire and then they make it that things happen. That make me really inspired from my two of my character. Also, for me it was really heartbreaking to see um, um, the thing that when I met Nuno has like they set up like home school.
Yes.
It was really heartbreaking to me because they don't have chair, they don't have table, they just like study. They they sat on the ground and they put a plastic bag, and it was really heartbreaking to see like all these children has this kind of situation.
Yeah, that's true. And even in the when this lady is giving birth, to see such basic medical situation where she is, that is, and also a positive thing was when Yo-Yo talks about her dreams of seeing the city lights and wearing a skirt as a model, look like a model with wearing a skirt. That was so sweet. So I was wondering, is there a call for action in your storytelling while you were making this documentary? Do you think that you were making a call for action for people who are watching?
Yes, definitely. Because when I start this documentary, people in my country, they don't talk about Rohingya community because we were so much neglect of what was happened in Rakhine State, what all these Rohingya get ethnic cleansing in my country, but nobody speak of that. People was like because we have so much influence and all these fake news, influence from military. So that's how we grew up like because that's the way we got knowledge from TV channel and everywhere. So we were just like we close our ear and we just stand for Buddhist community because as you can see that Myanmar is like Buddhist community is big population, Muslim and Rohingya community. We don't accept, even though there is inhuman and kind things happen in Rakhine State. We know it. We didn't talk about that. So when I started this documentary, I wanted to find out that uh, this is this is how we need to care. This is how we need to talk, and this is the thing we have to see it, not to close your eyes and your ears. Right? So so that was my intention to make this documentary. But on like the last 3 years, people were not cared about that. Like 4 years they don't care about that. But from now, last year we have a military coup happened in my country. Military, they took over our government, and they also did it the same to all these our so many ethnic group. We have so many ethnic group, and also Buddhists, whoever. They don't care about Muslims. They don't care about Rohingya. Also, to the whole country has such a tragedy. They killed so many people. Thousands of people got arrested. Thousands of people got killed by military. So in that moment, that was like people will start seeing that. Oh my God, we are same. Like they start talking about. We are talking about. We have the situation now. It's like Rohingya people. So now we have the same situation. Because so many people has to flee to other country because they got arrested. They just kill like they just like point out like three finger, and they put it bullet and shoot it in there. Like so many people had this is tragedy that we are happening. That was also Rohingya community. They already had this situation. So now people is now seeing who is the bad guy and who control our country and who give us so much fake news, and so that's a clear thing that we the whole country was seeing now.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. I was curious, like while making this documentary, how did you get consent from women of traditional cultures to do the filming in very intimate situations like giving birth and nursing? I'm curious about that.
For me, when I started this documentary film, because what I hear from my Buddhist community and my relative, they were saying that, oh, Rohingya community, Rohingya women, they deliver so many children, and that's why the population is growing. I was like, okay, so I really wanted to understand how this, the light of midwives, how do they, you know, like because they don't have any healthcare, and how do they give birth, and how did the healthcare situation in the region. That's why I pick midwife characters, but to me is as a woman, and to see all these things give me like so much bigger picture of like how our women have such sacrifice a lot, like as a mother, as a sister, as a midwife. So that is really, because for me it's kind of like teaching me, because before I made this documentary, I didn't see delivery things, like I never see it, that things. And yeah, it was beautiful. Somehow I can see now, I feel more empathy for women, also mother who sacrifice a lot. Also in my, as you can see in the film, and you know also that they are they are leader of their house, the women in the region.
Right.
And not only that, also in my experience, I see a lot of people in my country, Myanmar women, they are always like in their house, they are the leader of their house. They have so many responsibility, and they take care of the whole family members, business and everything. So that's what I want to point out for what is the women in my country from Myanmar. So
I was going to be asked, this next question was about that there's obviously this conforming to gender roles and non-conforming, right? So in some places you see that she's giving the choicest meat to her husband, cooking for her husband, taking care of her father-in-law, but then also out there she is the main health provider, right, for the community, and she's establishing a clinic, teaching in school. So I definitely noticed that. So thank you for sharing. My next question would be, how safe was it to do this documentary in this time of crisis?
Actually, it was not safe for me since I started this documentary, and because the Rohingya conflict happened in the region when I started this documentary. So I choose the village that there is not real conflict in that village. Of course, there are surrounding villages. There were so many conflict happen, but to be safe for the film and for my security, I choose the village. But anyway, but when I travel to the village, there are military checkpoint on the way. On the way, there are military checkpoint. So so the past 2 years, I was only like I was one woman crew. I I need to be really careful about my security concern, and I try to be very much low profile, and I make a um, trust building between two of my characters, La and Nunu. They were also protecting me, and we become like they introduced me like I'm one of their relatives, coming to see how they live and like just for visiting. That's the way they introduced me to their community. But on in that region was so many there are military checkpoints, so I was always like really so much panic and anxiety when I crossed the military checkpoint, and that was the first 2 years, and after 2 years in that village, in that region, there was civil war happened between Burmese military and Rakhine Arakan army. So that was another conflict that I didn't expect, and I was not planned to put it in my story, but it's happened in the village, and so that time I can because actually one thing that when I started this documentary, and in front of the clinic there is military compound, like there are some soldiers, they they were they were staying in front of her. There is a school just in front of the clinic. They were staying there, and sometimes I need to hide, like I put a shawl. Just the way I did it. And yeah, yes, also when the civil war happened in the region, so it was more danger for us, so we need to be very much concerned about not to get attention from military and soldiers.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow. And my last question to you would be the main characters. They definitely had the fire and the passion, right, to step outside the box and care so deeply and fearlessly for their community, for all the things, like whether it's education, health. Where do you think they get that fire from? Is there a personal experience that made them be that fierce and leaders in a way in their community?
Yeah, I think all these things coming out from their own character listed, because as you can see in that region there is no choice, and of course these two women, they are not giving up. They want to improve their life. So I think that's the reason, because some people they really wanted to improve their life, and they are focusing on how to get out of the box, how to continue our life, right? So that's the thing that we have it, and something just happened like miraculously. That's what I think. Also for my character, I think they have that kind of concept, and one thing after one thing, like they have like, okay, what is next step, what I want to improve for my life, what is next step, what I want to improve for my clinic, what is next step, that made them to to improve their life, and like also they become, as you can see, even though they don't have a good education, they are such a kind hearted women, and very much educated, for their community, and supporting their family and community.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Just the fact that they're always problem solvers and such vision, right, to improve their lives. Thank you so much, Snow, it was so nice to hear from you, all the questions I had, and the process, the challenges, and the message you wanted to the audience to know. I really thank you for giving us the gift of time today, and for making this amazing documentary to focus on your area, your hometown, your region of the world. So thank you again.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.